Hi there, and thank you for your interest in fostering with Forever Fortunate Felines. My name is Lauren, and today I'll be walking you through what it looks like to foster with FFF. FFF is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that is fully volunteer based. No one takes a paycheck, so we're all just people on a mission to help save some cats. We are also fully foster based, meaning we don't have a physical shelter where cats are located. So this means that all of the cats in our care, and we typically have anywhere from 300 to 500 cats in care, are maintained within foster homes. So you have cats at your house, I have cats in my house, somebody else has cats at their house, lots and lots of homes across Chicagoland that have our fosters in them. So it definitely takes a village for us to all take care of these kitties, but we do a really wonderful job saving hundreds and adopting out over about 1,000 cats every calendar year. One of the first questions we might ask you is, what kind of kitties are you interested in fostering? Cats come into our organization from a variety of places, including animal controls, strays off of the street, and owner surrenders. Because we have such a variety of locations that they come from, that means that we have a lot of different types of cats. So you might see a request for someone to foster a healthy cat or a cat that has no known medication or behavioral issues. You might have a request for a shy or under-socialized cat that needs a little extra TLC and loving before they're ready for adoption. You might have a request for a medical case cat that has either short or long-term medication use or a prescription diet, for example. You might have a request for mom cats with kittens. You might have a litter of kittens without a mom cat. And if you're an experienced foster and have worked with us a few times, we can also consider placing some bottle feeding kittens with you. We always have cats in need, and so please be mindful when you're choosing foster cats to choose the age or quantity or type of foster cat that you believe you can handle. There's no wrong answer there. If you feel like you can only handle adult cats or only want to work with kittens, those are all appropriate answers. We just want to help you find the best fit for your foster home so that we can have a successful experience. Once we select cats for you to have in your care, we will then set up a Facebook Messenger chat for you for those specific cats. Within that chat, that's a great location for you to share information about your kitties, ask questions about your kitties, share pictures and updates about them, and that's also where you'll be able to contact all the folks that are a part of the FFF management team. So you'll have at least probably 4 to 5 members of FFF that will also be in that chat with you so that they can help to, again, answer any questions and help to prompt any need for vet care or other things like getting ready for adoption. So that's the primary point of contact that you'll have with FFF, and you should anticipate utilizing your messenger chat at least once a week for updates about your cat so that we can ensure everything's on track to get them adoption ready. As you probably already know, the goal for fostering is goodbye. So when you foster kitties and bring them into your care, our goal is to get them all the way through to adoption. So that includes both being socially and medically ready for adoption. The first thing that we need to look at is vetting care. Being a cat that's considered fully vetted is a cat that has been spayed or neutered, microchipped, snap tested for FIV and FELV, rabies vaccinated if it's age appropriate, and given distemper vaccines as per age requirements. So all of those things are going to be provided to your cat during its time in foster care if they haven't already been provided before it came into foster care. Typically, we try to limit the number of vet appointments to just 1 vet appointment per cat. That helps us to keep costs down, but also helps it so you don't have to run your cat to the vet every week, which is kind of a pain. So if you're taking your cat to the vet, we like to include as many of those services as possible in that one singular vet appointment. If the cat does need additional vet appointments, we of course will help to situate that as well. Those will just require a specific request to say that your cat needs an appointment, and we can talk about those details once you have a cat in care. It is the responsibility of the foster to be able to bring their foster cat to their vet appointments, which means bringing them to a vet facility for spay and neuter, for example, or if there is a need for a vaccine or medication pickup, the foster is responsible for being able to pick up and transport their cat to the necessary locations for that vetting care. Some of the other medical things that you might need to know about for your fosters includes the facts that all of our cats are going to be flea treated and dewormed during their time in foster care. If the cat has never been flea treated or dewormed prior to coming to you in foster care, those will be a part of the responsibilities of the foster to apply both topical flea medications and administer oral medications for those dewormers. They are typically liquid, and we also have tablet styles. So you should be comfortable administering medications or be open to learning about administering medications to your fosters. Foster cats do require a minimum of 2 to 3 weeks of isolation from your resident animals once they come into your care. This is to make sure that we protect not only the foster cat, but also your resident animals, as many foster cats can come into care with transmissible things such as fleas, worms, or any other kind of upper respiratory infection or some kind of buggy. We do not want your cats to get sick, and obviously want everyone to be healthy, so we want to make sure we treat all of that prior to them being introduced to your resident animals. You also may want to consider getting your foster cat snap tested for FIV and FELV prior to them being introduced to your animal, and that testing typically happens at a spay-neuter appointment. If you have further questions about that, you can always ask in your designated foster chat. If you're wondering about vet partners that FFF works with, you can find a link to our vet partners provided below, and it's also listed on our website. We do have a selection of vet partners that are available both in the city and in the suburbs, so it's important to look at which locations are close to you for both spay and neuter appointments only, as well as outside appointments for something like a rabies shot, for example. The other side to becoming adoptable is being socially adoptable. We do want cats that are going to be able to be successful in a home with new adopters. That's okay if kitties might be a little bit on the shy side, but we do want to make sure that any under-socialized cat is able to get fully socialized prior to the point of adoption. If you have questions about your specific foster cat, that's a great thing to add to your messenger chat so we can help you work through that. Once your kitty is considered socially adoptable and it's upcoming the completion of its vet services, typically 1 to 2 weeks prior to that end of vet services, oftentimes that's a spay or a neuter appointment, we'll start to list your kitty for adoption. For that adoption process, we'll be asking you on your messenger chat for pictures, videos, and biographical information about your kitty so that someone from our bio team can help put together a beautiful little package that will be used to populate both our website and other websites like Adopt-A-Pet or Pet Finder, where your kitty can be seen by potential adopters. Most adoptions typically happen via the foster home, so adopters would come to your house and pick up kitties. They can also happen at adoption events, where we would have you bring your kitty to a local pet store and be able to be seen by various adopters, and they could pick out a kitty that day. Or you might also send your cat to a store setting where we have cats in residence at a variety of pet stores. In each of those situations, you will always have the opportunity to look at the paper application from the adopter and also speak to the adopter so that you can make the best judgment if this is a good fit for your foster. On average, most of our kitties get adopted within about 3 months of intake. So typically we have folks anticipate to foster kitties for about 2 to 3 months depending on the kitty. Of course, as you can imagine, some kitties may be a little more high demand than other kitties, so you might have a shorter or longer fostering experience depending on the kitty that you're fostering. If you as a foster are interested in foster failing your kitty and adopting your kitty, that is a possibility. You just need to let us know that you're interested in adopting the kitty prior to the kitty being listed to the public. We just don't want to get in those situations where someone else is interested in your kitty and you change your mind and want to keep the kitty. So that is an option. You just need to let us know ahead of time. So the last thing I want to talk about is expectations of the foster and expectations of the rescue. Expectations of the foster include that all of the animals in your home need to be fully vaccinated and fully vetted. So if you have kitties coming into your house that are fosters, again, we don't want any of your cats to get sick, so we need to have them fully vetted prior to you intaking any fosters. We expect all fosters to be able to provide a safe and appropriate space for their foster kitty. This could be a spare room, a bathroom, a walk-in closet, but somewhere that kitty can be safely kept and that they can have all their necessity needs met. Fosters are responsible for being able to take their cats to and from the vet, as well as to and from places like adoption events or store locations if they're dropping their cat to be in residence. Fosters are required to conduct meet and greets with potential adopters to help show off their kitties and talk about them so that we can help to find the perfect adoptive home. And finally, it is an expectation of fosters to be able to complete all of the forms that are necessary for getting that kitty ready for adoption. That could include intake forms, bio surveys prior to them getting listed for adoption, and store requests. Expectations of the rescue include that 1, we will cover all of the reasonable and expected medical expenses for the foster. So as we spoke about earlier, all the things to be fully vetted. As long as you use our rescue vet partners, we will cover the expenses. We will also cover the expenses of things like dewormers and flea meds. We will provide access to donated materials as best we can. We can only provide what materials have been donated to the rescue, and those may include things like litter, food, toys, and treats. So if you ever are in need of any of those items, please let us know. But as I said, we can only provide what's been provided to us via donation, so fosters should anticipate that there may be additional expense having a foster in their home. We cannot fully cover expenses for things like litter and food. And finally, the last things to anticipate from the rescue is that we will of course support you in getting your adoptable cat adopted. We want to help you by making sure that your cat is well publicized on a variety of websites, as well as letting you know about opportunities to bring them to adoption events or to store locations to help them get more visibility. If you're still interested in fostering, the next step for you is going to be the completion of a fostering application. That link can be found in the description box below. If you've changed your mind about fostering and are more interested in just adopting a cat, we also have the link to the adoption application in the box below. We have a variety of different volunteer opportunities that you may also be interested in, which include things like application screening, writing kitty bios, and helping out at the stores where we actually have cats in residence. Thank you so much for your interest in fostering, and if you have further questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us so we can help answer them and get you started with fostering.